Local 6, your breaking news and weather authority. This is Local 6 Midday.
And a winter storm that stretches from Texas to New England is working its way slowly across the Local 6 area. Right now it looks like Murray and Callaway County, Kentucky are getting the worst of it, with several power outages reported there. Our team coverage includes Local 6's Brianna Clark in Paducah, Kaylee Anderson's in Marion for us this midday. To our south, Jasmine Youngblood is covering Northwest Tennessee. And we begin with our Weather Authority team of Trent Okerson and Kaylee Bowers. Kaylee, what is the early afternoon looking like?
So Mike, still very similar to what we are seeing right now. We're talking rain, snow, freezing rain, and also some sleet here in the Local 6 area. Just depends on where you are, but most of us still seeing that wintry mixture, and that's going to carry on into these next several hours. So if you don't need to be outside, stay inside because the roadway is very slick, but crews are working very hard to try to get all this wintry weather cleared up as fast and as best as they can. Now, we're not the only ones seeing this wintry weather. Many people all across the country, all the way up from New England down to the Florida Panhandle and also into Texas, seeing some rain, snow, and also that wintry mixture. And you guys have been amazing sending in your weather window photos. So first off, I want to show a very interesting photo in Cunningham, Kentucky. You see the snow, but also you see the sleet and very icy conditions on the trees. And looking just a little bit closer at the trees, many people seeing this outside for today. So again, if you don't need to be outside, please stay inside. But coming up, we'll talk more in depth about what to expect for the rest of the day and also time out hour by hour your commute to work tomorrow morning.
As Kaylee just said, this wintry precipitation continues to fall across the region. We're going to begin our team coverage in Paducah. My co-anchor Brianna Clark is near exit 4 on Hinkleville Road. And Brianna, are you seeing many snowplows out today? How are things looking?
Well, we've seen quite a few snow plows, Mike, but things around here are looking wet and messy. It's pretty much like a melted ice rink out here. The roads, as you can see, are covered in slush right now. And the big fear is that this is going to refreeze overnight and cause problems for drivers, even more problems come tomorrow morning. Now, I spoke to Kentucky Transportation Cabinet spokesman Keith Todd, and he tells me the crews that are assigned to plow I-24 aren't just plowing the interstate. They're getting off on the exits and they're going down about a mile, making sure that those roadways nearby are cleared just in case of an emergency, just in case drivers need to pull off and go to a hotel or go to the hospital, get gas or food. So they're trying to make sure that the area is cleared as much as possible, but you can see the sleet is coming down, so they're just racing against Mother Nature. Take a look at this video. We captured this earlier today. This is what I-24 looked like. We saw dozens of plows out since about 4:30 this morning. And over in Lone Oak, this is Lone Oak Road, the road covered in sleet. You can barely even see the lines there. In the parking lots of Lone Oak Road, covered in ice, and when that sleet came down in those parking lots, that ice is now underneath, making it really slick. And back here in the mall or the mall area, we're seeing ice as well. Take a look at this. This fence is just covered in a layer of ice. We're not just seeing this here, we're seeing it on the grass, on trees, on power lines. We're keeping it up to date on this. We're checking in with road crews, seeing what they're doing. We haven't heard of many crashes this morning, but we're told that there's fears that that could increase as more people think it's okay to get on the road. So stay home, guys. Stay safe, stay warm. For now, live in Paducah, Brianna Clark. Mike, back to you.
Thank you, Brianna, and we'll be checking back in with Brianna in just about 20 minutes as the winter storm moves through our area. The Illinois Department of Transportation and Illinois State Police are seeing the impact. Marion received sleet earlier this morning. Now it's shifted to snow. Local 6's Kaylee Anderson joins us now live from Marion. And Kaylee, snow is better than sleet and freezing rain, right?
Honestly, Mike, I think most of us would choose neither, but snow is giving some relief for road conditions. It gives you better traction, but there's still ice underneath it, so we're not in the clear quite yet. Right now, we're in downtown Marion. There's some movement happening. People are driving through, but a lot of businesses and restaurants near Route 13 in Marion are closed. Not a lot of people are going out to grab a bite to eat today. IDOT crews are also continuing their efforts with snow and clearing throughout the day. I spoke with ISP earlier also, and their crash reports started coming in late last night and throughout the morning. Trooper Coronado says it's mainly from people not giving themselves enough time to slow down before hitting their brakes. He also encourages you to make sure you have your phone charged or grab an extra charger, that your gas tank is full, and that you dress warm so that if you get stuck, you're prepared. They're getting a lot of calls right now, so they can't get out to you immediately. And just on the way over, we saw some people in the ditch. A lot of people are spinning out. So if you have to get out and drive today, just take it slow. Live in Marion, Illinois, Kaylee Anderson, WPSD Local 6.
All right, thank you, Kaylee. We will hear more about the community of Marion and how they're handling the winter storm later this evening. In northwest Tennessee, it was pretty calm this morning, but the wintry precipitation is starting to pick back up. Local 6's Jasmine Youngblood joins us now live from Union City. And Jasmine, how's it looking there?
We're here at Veterans Park here in Union City, Tennessee, right off of Highway 51. Now, as you can see out in the distance, there is ice accumulating onto the trees. There's glaze on the power lines. The roads are pretty much covered at this point, but it's still mostly sleet here, and that is a good thing. Now, that doesn't mean that the roads are any less slick. Now, as you can see out here, the roads are fully covered. There's not a lot of traffic going on out here today. There's not a lot of people going up and down the roads, but just moments ago, there was a man who was pulled out of this ditch. His car had gotten stuck in this ditch. So there is an overpass just up the road here on US Highway 51. Police and law enforcement in the area are urging that if you do have to travel, to try to reroute and avoid this overpass because it is extremely slick in this type of weather. Reporting live in Union City, Tennessee, Jasmine Youngblood, WPSD, Local 6.
All right, thank you, Jasmine. And Jasmine wants to remind you that you can plan your routes by calling 511 or checking the Tennessee State Smartway map. Our area is getting nailed with sleet, ice, snow. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet reports 70% of snow and ice-related injuries happen while you are driving. So remember, some tips like this. Bridges freeze fast. They freeze first. Having open air underneath the bridge or overpass means that the cold air surrounds the bridge both above and below. It's there if there's even the chance that a bridge might be frozen, then slow down. Also, be aware of patchy ice or black ice on the roads. That's more prevalent during the early morning hours, so keep that in mind tomorrow. It can also form when roadways are slick from rain and temperatures dropping below freezing overnight. So the bottom line is if you don't have to be out on these roads, it is safest to stay home. And while you get your family ready for the storm, don't forget to make sure your home is ready too. There are 4 tips to staying safe and warm that we want to share with you. First, this one's simple but important. Keep the warm air in and the cold air out. Check your home for seal leaks, gaps. Make sure your vents aren't blocked. Build an emergency kit. This should have a battery-powered flashlight along with radio, fresh batteries, a first aid kit, any medicines you might need. Third, avoid and report any fallen power lines and stay informed. And the best way to do that is by downloading the WPSD Radar app. In news of the day, President Biden addressed the nation this morning following a raid in Syria that led to the death of the leader of ISIS. Military officials say the target detonated an explosive, killing himself and other civilians. The Biden administration called the counterterrorism operation successful, and they say that the world is a safer place now. NBC's Bree Jackson is in Washington with the latest.
Mr. President, one word about Syria.
The counterterrorism raid happened overnight in northwestern Syria, killing the leader of the Islamic State terrorist group. Speaking at the White House Thursday, President Biden praised the work of U.S. Special Forces.
And thanks to the bravery of our troops, this horrible terrorist leader is no more.
According to U.S. officials, the ISIS leader was on the 3rd floor of the building when U.S. special operators arrived. Senior administration officials say the target exploded a bomb that killed himself and members of his own family, including women and children. President Biden and Vice President Harris watched the raid from the Situation Room.
Send a strong message to terrorists around the world. We will come after you and find you.
The Biden administration says the suicide bombing appears to be the same cowardly terrorist tactic seen in the 2019 operation that eliminated al-Baghdadi. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
President Biden says all American forces involved in that raid have returned safely from the operation.
We still have a few more hours left to go with our winter storm that's impacting the area right now. Coming up after the break, live look of Ultimate Doppler. We'll go hour by hour and let you know when things will taper off and when we'll eventually head back above freezing. That's coming up after the break here on Local 6 Midday.
And coming up in just a few minutes, it's another edition of Local 6 Legal Line. We'll be visiting with Millicent Green-Polovic of the Donna Thorne Green Law Office, and we'll be discussing Social Security and disability benefits. That's all straight ahead on Local 6 Midday.
Why is it when someone says, "I'm toast," it's not a good thing?
I'd be happy if I was toast.
Why?
Because I'd be delicious. Sonic Patty Melt. And everyone would love me.
Living with metastatic breast cancer means being relentless because every day matters. And having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopause status.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
Every day matters, and I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about everyday Verzenio.
So you're having difficulty hearing clearly, and you're considering trying a hearing aid. Good plan. But do you know what caused your hearing problem? Is it an acoustic neuroma, otosclerosis, or otitis media? At Stone Lang, we conduct a thorough hearing evaluation prior to every hearing aid fitting, and we can provide the counseling and service you need to keep your hearing aids working properly. Don't take chances with your health. See the professionals at Stone Lang, where we make good hearing affordable. Offices in Paducah, Murray, and Fulton.
If you don't have the stuff in between an Oreo cookie, is it an Oreo cookie or is it just two cookies?
Sonic double stuffed Oreo waffle cone and blast.
Just saying, I think the stuff is what matters.
Taxes touch every part of financial life. Let us put the pieces of the puzzle together for you.
All right, let's start out with a couple more photos here on this wild Thursday. A weather authority alert continuing through tonight with ice, sleet, and snow continuing. This is from Murray, Kentucky. A little artistic view of the ice, and you can see lots of those trees here in Murray covered with that coating of ice. And right now it looks like the worst of the weather has been from Murray up toward the Princeton area. This photo from my friend Amber near Princeton of a tree split there with the weight of the ice and that wind whipping around. In Princeton, we've had numerous reports of power outages. We've had power outages being reported around the Murray area and some power outages down into Tennessee as well in portions of Henry County and parts of Trigg County reporting some power outages as well. Two different views on Sky Tracker. This is the view from Paducah, of course, where we have sleet falling. If you are trying to remember the difference between sleet and freezing rain, sleet, you can hear it falling. It pings off of surfaces. It bounces when it hits. It's an actual ice pellet that falls down and hits the ground. Sleet is good in terms of the power and tree situation. Both of them are bad to drive on, but we want sleet as far as avoiding the power outages. That's the view from Paducah. This is the view from Murray, and you just saw an actual liquid raindrop hit the camera lens. That's freezing rain. It actually falls as a liquid raindrop and then freezes on everything that it hits, and that includes trees and power lines and grass and all those surfaces, and that's what we're primarily dealing with right now in Murray. Temperatures across the region generally running below freezing, but we've got that freezing line kind of creeping along from Union City up toward Martin, Murray, and over toward the Princeton area. That's why freezing rain is more of an issue just behind the freezing line. The farther northwest we go, temperatures get colder, and we've got more in the way of snow and sleet there. 29 in Paducah, 23 in Carbondale. This is a monster system. We've got snow all the way from Texas all the way to New England. We've got ice in between, and there's even a tornado watch right now down across parts of the deep south, and we're still locked in for a while. You notice that the precipitation lets up a little bit here across central Arkansas. That break will move our direction over the next few hours, but we've still got at least another couple, 2 or 3 hours of steady precipitation locked in across the region. We switched the radar over to get a better idea. The snow line is right here around Carbondale up through McLeansboro. See where it gets a little on the yellow side? This is where the radar is differentiating between snow and sleet on the other side. So farther south into extreme southern Illinois, we're still talking about more sleet. And then based on viewer reports here around Martin to Mayfield, Calvert City, that's kind of the cutoff between freezing rain farther to the east, sleet farther to the west. And there's going to be a little bit of a battleground zone in here where you've got a combination of both. Because we did get a little sleet this morning, that's helping us out as far as the extreme ice amounts, but we still think that Madisonville, Princeton, Benton, Murray, Paris corridor is where we're going to have the potential for at least a quarter to a half inch of pure ice, followed by lesser amounts off to the west. And additional snow totals of another 2 to 3 inches from Mount Vernon to Carbondale and Harrisburg, and then a crunchy inch or so of a sleet snow mix from Sykeston over toward Paducah. Again, we're going to see things tapering off as we head into the evening hours tonight. A few snow showers will continue through the overnight hours, and tomorrow morning we'll start with clouds. Sunshine comes back tomorrow afternoon, but we're going to have to be patient on warmer temperatures. 18 tonight, 30 tomorrow, 12 on Saturday morning, and 31 Saturday with sunshine. 16 Sunday morning. We're back to 41 above freezing on Sunday, and thankfully quiet weather early next week with highs in the 30s and 40s.
And back on Local 6 Midday, part 1 of today's Local 6 Legal Line, as promised, with Millicent Green Polovic of the Donna Thornton Green Law Office in Paducah, answering questions regarding Social Security and disability benefits. And before we get to some of our questions today, Millicent, let's talk first, what exactly happens at a Social Security hearing? What goes on there?
That's a question I get a lot, Dave. So it happens at the third part of the appeal process. You've had 2 denials at the state level, and then you appeal that to the federal administrative level. Your case is scheduled for a hearing with an administrative law judge. You're expected to testify under oath at that hearing about your past work, about your medical conditions and how they limit you on a daily basis, what activities you're not able to do because of your impairments, and why you're not able to do any work activity. Another really important part of that process is that there's a vocational expert who testifies at the hearing who's hired by the Social Security Administration. They will classify your past work and underneath the Dictionary of Occupational Titles, and then they will also testify about whether or not you have any, whether or not you are able to perform any work in the national economy. This is definitely a legal process. It is one that you want to be represented by an attorney because they will be able to ask you questions, elicit the testimony that's needed, and present your case and the arguments to the judge thoroughly.
I have a question from Raymond who wants to know, are you allowed to file for disability benefits while you're still working? That's
another good question. So you are able to work a limited amount while you're filing for disability. For 2022, you're only able to earn $13.50 a month while you're filing for disability benefits. So that's a very small amount. It's usually a part-time employment situation. If you go over that amount, then you will not be eligible for disability benefits for that month. So it's very important that you are reporting your pay stubs to the local Social Security office and keeping track of that. If you have to work while you're filing for disability so that you can pay your bills, that's understandable. But Social Security benefits are for people who are not able to work at all. So that's why there is that cap on the amount you can earn.
Have about 45 seconds left in our first segment, and someone wants to know, how long does it take after a hearing to find out if you've won?
Well, it can take some time, and there's no limit on how long the judge has to make that decision. It can take a few weeks, sometimes up to a few months. So what you're looking for that can lengthen that time period is, are there medical records that are still outstanding? Were you sent for another exam with one of Social Security's doctors? Was there vocational expert testimony that was needed after the hearing? Those can all extend the period that you're waiting for a decision. But if you are expecting a decision right after the hearing, then again, it can still take some time. You're just waiting on the judge to make that decision, and there's nothing you can do to speed that along.
Part 1 of Local 6 Legal Line in the books. Good news is that we do have part 2 coming up straight ahead, answering more questions regarding Social Security and disability benefits. That's coming up after the break on Local 6 Midday.
value at Success Vision is incredible.
The prices are really good because they make them here in the store.
By far the easiest way to buy glasses.
I mean, we're talking designer frames, high-end quality.
The doctor next door is extremely thorough and took the time to explain everything. All of the lens upgrades and the latest technologies. I was really impressed.
Only at Success Vision.
2 pair for $39 in an hour for less. Come see us today, Success Vision Express.
This Valentine's Day, take a moment to create a Pandora's moment. The River Birch Mercantile at Patty's Settlement in Grand Rivers, Kentucky offers a unique selection of jewelry including rings, charms, bracelets, and necklaces from Pandora. River Birch Mercantile and Patty's will make this Valentine's Day a moment to remember.
You'll shop for your heart's desire if you're the winner of the $2,000 gift certificate to be given away by Gillum Thompson Furniture during February. Register to win as you treat yourself to special furniture bargains throughout their store. Create a beautiful home with timeless, long-lasting home furnishings from their name brand furniture collections. There's free interest financing for qualified buyers plus free delivery. It's the Heart's Desire February event at Gillum Thompson Furniture in Mayfield, the Reader's Choice #1 furniture store. No purchase necessary to win.
All hail Nathan Chen.
She is a true competitor.
The moment has arrived. Team USA. The Winter Olympics begin tonight on NBC and Peacock.
And here we go for part 2 on Local 6 Legal Line on this Thursday, visiting with Millicent Green-Polovic of the Donna Thornton Green Law Office, answering questions regarding Social Security and disability benefits. And we have a question from Karen who says, I have a workers' compensation case, cannot go back to my old job. Can I also file for Social Security disability?
That's also a good question. So if you have been injured at work and you have a workers' compensation claim, in the workers' compensation field, you're looking at whether or not you are able to go back and do that past job. If you're not able to do your past job, in the Social Security Administration, we're looking at, can you do any work? Is there any kind of job that you would be able to do? If you believe that you're not able to do any work, whether it's because of that injury, if it was so severe, or that injury in combination with your other impairments is going to limit your ability to work, you can file for both workers' compensation benefits and disability benefits. You do need to know, though, that your disability benefit can be reduced based on a settlement from workers' comp, but you are able to file for both benefits.
I have a question from someone who says, Social Security scheduled an appointment for me with a doctor in Glasgow. I live in Paducah. It's going to be difficult to go to that appointment. Do I have to go?
Well, that is also something I'm hearing quite a bit recently, especially in this last year with COVID. The examiners are scheduling these appointments all across Kentucky, trying to get you in with one of their doctors. If that is a 3-hour appointment, it's 3-hour distance away from you, that can be very hard for you to do. But unfortunately, you have to go to those appointments and you need to go and put forth the best effort or you will be denied. If you miss those appointments or if you miss repeated appointments, your case will just be denied. So you do need to go to those appointments. The good thing is that you can let Social Security know what your gas expenses are. There'll be a form for you to fill out and you can be compensated for the travel to get to that appointment.
Next question comes from Patty who says, can you get disability for alcohol-induced epilepsy?
Well, we've talked about before how alcoholism is not considered an impairment for Social Security disability purposes. It used to be, but it's no longer. But if you have a condition or an impairment that is brought on by a past alcoholism, or if it's an impairment that is induced from alcoholism, you still can receive benefits for that impairment if it is severe and disabling, if you're not able to do any work because of that condition, or like I said earlier, if in combination with other impairments, you would be not expected to be able to do any work activity. So yes, while it is related to alcoholism, it is not alcoholism as the main impairment. So you are able to receive disability benefits for something along those lines.
Have a little bit less than a minute left in today's segment, and we have a question from Gerald who wants to know, I've been denied twice. Should I try again or just start over?
Do not start over. If you've been denied twice, then that means you're going to be at the hearing level. The hearing level is where most of our cases are won. Like I said earlier, that's a time when you get to present your case. You get to show whatever gaps might be in the record and explain that to the judge. If you start over, if you don't appeal and go to the hearing level, then you're just going back to the state for the administrative process again, and you're potentially losing a chunk of disability benefits in that period. And if you do that, then you could potentially be setting yourself up for a date last insured issue down the line if you do keep appealing. If the main thing is that if you believe you are disabled, you need to continue to appeal, continue to appeal, continue to appeal. And there are several appeal options. Do not stop, do not be discouraged by a denial. It's common, you just might not have the right evidence, and I would suggest that you speak with an attorney.
Melissa Green-Polovic of the Donna Thornton Green Law Office has been our guest on today's Local 6 Legal Line, answering questions regarding Social Security and disability benefits. If you'd like to review either one of these segments, you can do so shortly. We'll pop it up under the Legal Line icon online at wpsdlocal6.com. More Midday straight ahead.
I'm Jonathan Lawson, here to tell you about life insurance through the Colonial Penn program. If you're age 50 to 85 and looking to buy life insurance on a fixed budget, remember the 3 Ps.
The 3 what?
The 3 Ps.
What are the 3 Ps?
The 3 Ps of life insurance on a fixed budget are price, price, and price. A price you can afford, a price that can't increase, and a price that fits your budget.
I'm 54 and was a smoker, but quit. What's my price?
You can get coverage for $9.95 a month.
I'm 65, retired, and take medications. What's my price?
Also $9.95 a month.
I just turned 80 and I'm on a fixed income. What's my price?
$9.95 a month for you too. If you're age 50 to 85, call now about the #1 most popular whole life insurance plan available through the Colonial Penn program. It has an affordable rate starting at $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. You cannot be turned down because of your health. No medical exam, no health questions. Your acceptance is guaranteed. And this plan has a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, so your rate can never go up for any reason. Options start at $9.95 a month. Plus, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So call now for free information, and you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. Use this valuable guide to record your important information and give helpful direction to your loved ones with your final wishes. And it's yours free, just for calling. So call now for free information.
Call 1-800-554-4300 for your free information and your free gift. That's 1-800-554-4300. 1-800-554-4300. That's 1-800-554-4300. So call now.
All right, things continue to unfold with our winter storm today, with ice continuing to pile up across portions of Kentucky, Tennessee. Of course, that's where we're going to have continued with the higher power outage possibility this afternoon. Already seeing power outages in Callaway, Marshall County, up into Lyon, Caldwell counties. Several power outages there. Don't have exact numbers. And Henry County also reporting some power outages. So just stay weather aware as we head through the rest of the afternoon as that ice adds up.
And we are still tracking some wintering mixtures for this afternoon and this evening. Roadways tomorrow still very slick, so stay with us throughout the afternoon, evening, and tomorrow morning.
That's good advice. And thanks for watching Local 6 Midday.